Hello guys, welcome to my channel. I hope you were able to enjoy Christmas despite the current condition. I hope it was a good, pleasant time with the family, as it was for me. So second game of the UB tournament, CR9-11 against Ursa 06. He was playing Demon Legion, so very interesting matchup as always, because the Demon are quite good at the moment. So this is my list. I told you already quite a lot about both our lists in the previous video. If you haven't seen it yet, I recommend you to do so, because I've provided there some matchup analysis about this game. So we played on the map number 1, secure target. Here the spell selection. I decided to go with unusual selection for Dilamasu for me, which is both spell able to give flammable to the opponent, and then Great Blue of Shamut, since he has a lot of single model and a small unit, decided to use Gravecall, Mark for Doom, plus the usual Pentagram of Pain that I always like, because it's the only spell that gives me the ability to heal the Great Bull, and then the +1 ward save, since they are probably going to have some combat. I'm quite happy to have 3 boosts for the upcoming combat. And I saw no real need for Toxic Breath, because he has toughness, ward save, no arm save. I don't think the Toxic Breath is really helpful in this game. And on the bottom part of the page you have his spell selection. I was a bit surprised that he decided not to take the Wrath of God, but during the game I remarked that he liked to spam a lot. He cast a lot of spell with 2 dice with +2, and yeah, due to the Sentinel power, he's playing 2 Sentinel, he has the conversion 2-1, so he's gaining a lot of dice, and then he can cast basically Trial of Face as a snipe as well, and then the 2 snipe from evocation, plus d6 +1, plus sometimes a breast weapon, so he has a lot of damage from distance. And then close combat still can use breast weapon, can use smite, which is always helpful, and then he has another -1 resilience plus spectral blade, so very powerful magic. But I still would probably have selected Wrath of God instead of the Cleansing Fire, because just Wrath of God is so good, and it can help in some, yeah, depending how the game goes. I would probably have selected Wrath of God. It's always helpful. So yeah, some addition to what I already said in a previous video, but basically has a lot of threats. I will really try to kill these additional threats before trying to engage the big block, and obviously I need to use my steadfast to move forward against this small unit. He has not a lot of chaff, so it can be hard for him to get some good charges. Yeah, regarding Titan Mortar, I will try to target the Myrmidon, or the flies are also a good target because of the flying. I have also the Chariot are flying, Blazing is flying, so I have a lot of possible target for the Mortar. Obviously, I fear his magic. His magic is looking really scary from distance, also in combat. So yeah, I will need to be careful with how I deal with his magic, and I hope my dispelling will be good during this game. So with the deployment, we exchanged a couple of drops. Basically, I made him drop first because he was able to choose the side. He took top, so I had bottom. He put his marker here. I put mine quite far away from his, still not facing really the ruin, because I didn't want to come out of the ruin and take some DGs. So I decided to put slightly more to the right. I think position was pretty good. I was surprised to see that he put his spot where I wanted to put mine initially if I took bottom, so that was quite funny. So yeah, basically he waited before dropping everything. I put first the slave, then the light cav, then some vassal, and then he decided to drop everything. So he put Chariot on the left, Chariot on the right, Blazing Glory, everybody's flying, sorry. A block of Flamers with Sentinel, block of Myrmidon with Sentinel General, flies, chaff, and Brazen Beast. So yeah, he decided to go with the approach, 2 blocks on the right, which makes really hard for me to face it. I don't think I have the combat capabilities to face these blocks, and especially facing 3 snipes each turn on my character, especially the BSB with no ward save, might be too much. So I decided to do kind of a refuse flank, put all my strengths on the left, and just put the Kalim Titan on the right to force him to manage me and not be able to really push forward with Blazing Glory, Flying Chariot, stuff like that. That was a little bit the idea. And on the left I put Big Anointed, Small Anointed, Great Bull, Double Vassal, Warrior with the BSB, Lamassu, Double Mortar. His turn 1, he pushes forward to target Kalim Titan with the magic, and here he just shuffle a bit around, move back with the Brazen Beast to the side a little bit with the Chariot. In the magic, he does End of Even, Kalim Titan does nothing, and then Try of Face does maximal 3 wounds. I fail all ward saves, so a Nightmare already take 3 wounds on the Kalim Titan, something that I really wanted to avoid. I was able to dispel Reaper, and he failed with 1 dice. He decided to, I think, Spectral Blade, and he failed it. My turn 1, I push forward to the left, trying to claim board space. Obviously he has long charge here, smaller charge here, possible, but I didn't fear that much. I put just Lamassu in counter charge, just in case I need it. Here I gave him some long 11, 12 charge Swift Ride on my unit on the left, but I was feeling pretty confident, and I pushed forward with the BSB's unit towards the middle, because basically this unit can push, so I marched 9. And then here I started to move my Kalim Titan back. Obviously the slave, I mean, I cannot really escape with them. I know they are sacrificed, and I wanted to free space for the Kalim Titan to move, so I moved them forward. And then if you want to charge me, I will flee off the board and just slow down one of his units by fleeing. I made sure that there is no panic for the Vassal as well. In the magic phase, I was able to get Mark of Doom off and do 2 wounds on the Chariot. And then Catapult targeted the flies, did nothing. His turn 2, he charged against my 6 Anointed, was pretty surprising. Moved sideways a little bit. Here, I think he moved back a bit more. And then he decided to turn around, so march the Evocation into this block, make it a big block which is nearly unbreakable. And then moved forward with balls. I took the charge with Chariot. Actually, I fled off the board as I planned, and we'll see what happened in this combat. I'm pretty curious. I was thinking only 3 flies. On average, they should do only 2 wounds to me, probably. And I have 19 attacks on 3+2+, should be fine. So I'm curious to see what he wanted to achieve here, but definitely the magic might help. He was able to get later Spectral Blade onto the flies. I decided to let that off. I completely forgot that it worked as well on this special toxic attack. I was thinking that doesn't work on this kind of attack, but it works actually, and that was an unpleasant surprise for me in combat. Then I dispelled Whisper of the Veil, and he was able to get -1 resilience with Mighty Unbeliever on me. Close combat, he did 2 wounds to me. I strike back with 19 attacks. I did 7 wounds to him, and then with the toxic rerolling to wound on 5 up, he was able to do another 5 wounds to me, which was huge because I lost 7 wounds. I did 7 back. I'm actually losing combat. That's a nightmare. Yeah, because I think there was some opportunities maybe if he popped. I mean, yeah, I had some option to do stuff, but here that's definitely not the case. So unfortunately, I'm stuck in combat, and I even lost. But thanks, I was able to roll a 9 rerollable. My turn 2. I found a nice spot on the left, yeah, because he has no musician. He was just able to move back to avoid the charge turn 2, but then this was leaving me a nice spot to the left, so I moved the bull to the left in range to press weapon onto the Chariot, which is awesome. Move sideways, move forward, decided to move the BSB back because of the snipes, and here I counter charge with the Lamassu after checking the flight, how it looks like. He can charge from everywhere. I can always flee in safe position, so I should be fine. What I liked about this charge from the Lamassu was the fact that I have higher agility than him, and I have this press weapon flaming, so if I'm able to get a reroll to wound, he has only 5 wounds left, maybe I can deal with him pretty fast and avoid that Torque Anointed take too much casualties back. Continue to move the Kalim Titan back, and yeah, I guess that's it. I don't know if I no, I was not. Yeah, he made that good because he blocked the arc. I was not able to move to the side here. He was sure that he was still seeing me, so I couldn't afford to take a charge from Myrmidon onto the Canim Titan. That was impossible for me. Magic. I put +1 armor save onto them just to get the reroll to wound actually. So I was able to get reroll to wound. Then I cast a Grave Call on them, dispelled by my opponent, and I was able to get Hereditary to put Flammable on them and -1 weapon skill, which was interesting because if he charged me onto the Anointed, then I'm sure I'm hitting on 2+, which is nice. Breast weapon, I rolled only a 4 on the breast weapon, but I was still able to kill the chariot, which was nice. And then in close combat, another disappointing breast weapon did only 1 wound this time. So yeah, that one was not disappointing because I just wanted to kill the chariot. So I was able to make it with only 4 hits. But here this time I was only able to do 1 wound with the breast. And then rest of the attack, kill the unit. I took another wound onto this unit. And then that's his turn 3. Continue to push on the right, yeah, take the wall to defend it. Moves forward with that. He charged with Brazen Beasts that were blocked actually. There was nothing too good to do for him, so he just charged Lamassu, failed to try to redirect, I guess 12 rerollable onto them. I was fine with that. Here there was no possible charge. I used the Impassable, gave him the flank, so no possible charge from them onto the Anointed, which was important for me to achieve. And then he moved back with the flies, and that's it more or less. So the cool thing is I have a cool flank charge, but he's still seeing me with the flies. However, I'm not so scared by 3 flies against Great Bull, should be fine, and I have enough unit to threaten him. In his magic phase, he rolled a big Hasten the Hour onto the Anointed. I really wanted to dispel that one because it does 3 wounds, so it kills 1 model, which is pretty bad. He cast it with 3 dice. I tried to dispel with 5. Unfortunately, I don't roll high enough. And to add some salt onto this wound, I wasn't able to fizzle a lot. I only fizzle 1 on the 5 dice. So this is going to be a nightmare magic phase. So he gets Aston the Hours, does 3 wounds onto the Anointed. Then he does Reaper onto the BSB, does 1 wound. A Thread of Face onto the Anointed, does another wound. So I lost 2 model actually. And then Hand of Even does a 1 wound onto the Titan Mortar. So yeah, this was a nightmare for me, this magic phase. So the Anointed are pretty much dead. I have only 2 models left. My turn 3, Great Bull charge onto the flank. Didn't want to charge with them. However, I could have probably to just make sure I can deal with him. I don't know, to be honest. Can I really take them front? Maybe I should have just, yeah, because of the DT and stuff. I should have maybe also charged with them to make sure I can deal with the Brazen Beast quickly enough. Maybe that would have been cool. Just make sure I give myself counter charges. Basically, I'm hoping to either make 4 wounds or he fails steadfast, but do a lot and kill him in 2 phases. That was a little bit my idea. I like the fact that I'm in combat on the next phase because he cannot cast me spell at my Great Bull, which is always nice. So we'll see. I move the BSB back. Yeah, continue to move back, rally the Lamassu, and them, they were only able to move 7, so to move out of arc of them, but I couldn't be out of arc of both. So I decided to accept to have the chariot in the front and see what happens. What I want to do, he has only leadership 7, so if he charges Lamassu, then he needs to roll 7 to redirect onto them. And this combat is really dicey because he's only doing a lot with the impact, but I still have toughness 5. I still have 7 attacks, strength 6 back. So yeah, different outcomes are possible in this fight. So we'll see if I want to take it. Magic, I was able to get Mark for Doom, another 2 wounds on the flies, which was nice. Then I got Ward Save onto this model. Pentagram of Pain on the flies did nothing. I tried an Hereditary that failed, and he dispelled the +1 armor save. Close combat, I did 3 wounds, he did nothing to me, but he was able to pass Steadfast and pass the Reform as well, which was quite important. And obviously Catapult, Titan Mortar did nothing. His turn 4, yeah, we're like that, so he charged me with the Flying Chariot on Lamassu. I fled, and I decided also to flee with them. I didn't want this dicey combat, and I thought they are worth a lot of points, so if I'm far away from them, I'm quite happy, because I cannot fight anything being in this position, so I decided just to use the obvious flee, and I was within the BSB that was in a nice spot, so I was okay with that. He decided to charge again with the lemur onto them. I fled, and then he failed to redirect a long charge against them. I think I left him with like an 11. I don't know if I would have hold or flee. To be honest, I was ready to flee because I put the block behind to just be sure that I can flee here, and then I still have chaff and enough stuff to claim that spot. So I was fine to flee if needed, and I can always rally, and then I still have a relentless company. So I didn't want to face him in close combat because I cannot fight this block, I guess. Especially now that I have not a lot of combat power left in my army. In the magic phase, what did he do? End of Even against Scarlet Titan did nothing. Trial of Phase did nothing. Reaper against Scarlet Titan did 3 wounds. And then Aston the Hour on the Scarlet Titan, I was able to dispel it. He rolled a lot on Reaper. I don't remember exactly how much, but too much for me. Close combat, I did 3 wounds. He did 1 to me, but he passed both checks, so was able to reform and also just to not lose further wounds. So yeah, I was a bit disappointed because I could have really pushed forward with the bull, try to push with them as well, try to put a little bit more pressure on my turn 4. And here I will just need to, I will just counter charge. He made sure that to stay within my front, so these guys cannot counter charge, which was smart from him, I guess. My turn 4. Counter charge with Vassal, reposition myself, so yeah, I have no push option to the flank because of I'm stuck here. I think I should have charged with them as well, just to make sure I can deal with him quickly and then just go and threaten the flank and the flies and the stuff. Could have done much more, I guess. So yeah, I'm stuck in combat. I position myself back with the chaff and all the stuff, rally everybody with a reroll, and just move back with Titan, who is almost dead. In the magic phase, I cast a Mark 4 Doom on the flies. He was able to save it. Close combat, I won by like 7. He just popped. And his turn 5, he pushes forward. Decided not to charge, so just pushes forward. I was ready to flee. He just want to be within 18 to cast 3 snipes onto my BSB, which is smart. Everybody's within. I guess these guys are in the flank, but still, even if I charge, that's not enough. That's not enough. Bull is too far. I have nothing too juicy, and he has still a lot of counter charge. As you can see, now he's pushing. But it might be too late for him because I can still back up with most of my stuff. In the magic phase, I used the binding scroll on the snipe D3 to try to save my BSB, and then I dispelled Trial of Face on the BSB. He was able to get Aston the Hour onto the Kalim Titan because he couldn't kill my BSB with Aston the Hour, so he used it on Kalim Titan, but I saved with a ward save. But then he was able to get a press weapon strength 5 onto Blazing Glory, which is enough to kill my Kalim Titan. I passed the leadership check, and then he was able to get a big end of even that did 6 hits, strength 6 onto the anointed, and kill another anointed, and took half of the point, which is, it's a lot of points. This anointed that just died on this spell. My turn 5, so I was able to use my Relentless Banner and march with everybody. Just my first idea was move out of arc with everybody and push the flank. And then I got the idea, how can I save all these points? Because if I get another magic phase, I will most likely lose at least the BSB, maybe even the anointed. So I need to do something to avoid that. So my plan was then to block him completely, because he cannot move here, he cannot move here. There is no possibility that the Sentinel get within 24 of these guys. So with this sacrifice of the chaff, I was able to basically save my BSB and save the anointed, which is interesting. What I did wrong was the order, because I moved them first, moved the anointed, and then I thought about this idea to save my guys, so then I positioned the chaff. What I shouldn't have, I think I should have just kept them in this position, because this position is just bringing me nothing. I made sure that he cannot charge with both so he cannot charge with the flies and the chariot onto them, because if the chariot want to fit, I need to close the door, and they cannot fit because of the position of the bull. So that was a little bit the idea. In the magic phase, I try to grave call the flies, my opponent dispel it, and then with a Mark 4 Doom, I do 1 wound onto the flies, and then I was able to get the ward save onto the Infernal Warrior. His turn 6, He was able to get the charge. One was on 7 Swift Stride, I guess this one was 8 Swift Stride, was able to get both. Should be fine, but definitely, yeah, possibly worth it for him just to try to force some Steadfast on a 9 with no reroll, and then Blazing Charge here as well. In the magic phase, since he cannot target my juicy point on the bottom corner, he decides to go against my bull. He tries End of Even, does 6 hits, strength 2, does nothing. Trial of Face did fail against Great Bull. Yeah, I have magical resistance, so that helps. And then he was able to get strength 3, Breath Weapon onto the Chariot. I dispel Spectral Blade onto the Flies. And then he was a bit, how can I say, greedy, because he tried to put with 2 dice the boosted Smite the Unbeliever onto the 3 Toric Anointed, and he failed. He should have gone for the basic version just to make sure he can get some boost. Close combat, obviously the Flies, the Blazing Glory kills my guy. The Chariot lost by 2, but he was able to pass his leadership check. And then 3 Anointed against the 2 Flies. I made 1 wound, he did 1 wound to me, I lost by 1. I was able to Steadfast on a 9. And then this is my final turn. I took both counter charge, so Vassal onto the flank, Great Bull onto this guy, and I will kill both, and we finish like that. It's a 10-10 at the end, so he took half the Anointed, Kalim Titan, Vassal, Calf, Slaves. I took both Flies, Brazen, Double Chariot. And his stuff is pretty cheap, because I killed quite a lot, but I mean 3 Flies, that's 12 health point, and that's only 300. I mean, these units are really strong, really strong. So yeah, I wasn't able to do much. I think I tried to kill stuff according to plan, so I got all the small stuff that was around, but still I lost too much during this process to maybe try to target the big block at the end. Analysis of the game. In my view, that's rather the demon player that can choose between 2 plans. More an open game, like I've shown you in the simulation in the previous video, where he can put 1 block on each marker, or he go more for a close game like he did in this game, put 2 block on this side. I was never going to go on this side and try to face this 2 block on front. I think there is no way, because he's going to start. So he's starting, moving forward. And then I can move forward, he can chaff my entire line more or less, so I get 3 rounds of magic before I can do anything. I will most likely lose my BSB due to snipes, so then I'm facing combat with no BSB, and he has a huge magic that can do a lot. I don't think I have the combat power to really deal with this unit, and then he has thousands of counter charge because everybody's flying, so he can bring some Flies around, and then the right side he had the Blazing Glory, the Chariot that fly as well, that can counter charge. So I think this would have been mission impossible to go and face him frontally in the front. So yeah, I was, due to that, I think neither of us actually was never in a position to really win the objective. I think secondary was impossible to both deployment. And I reacted, I was ready to play both games, but I reacted in a safe way. I think for me, it seems really unlikely that I'm able to face him and try to really go against these 2 big blocks that are better than mine. I think this is not likely to happen. So this is more, I think, down to him whether or not he wants to go for an open game and spread the stuff, spread the 2 blocks, and maybe this gives me more option to try to play for both secure target. Yeah, follow my game plan, kill the small stuff first. I don't think it was worth it to deploy my Kadim Titan like I did. I should most likely have... Yeah, the problem was the way I put it, the fast cav blocked a little bit the option for the Kadim Titan to be out of the magic, or of some magic at least. And I think the right deployment would have been Kadim Titan on the far left, 3 Toric Anointed on the position where the chaff was, and therefore I don't risk a lot of points, but I still have a scoring on the right. I still need to dedicate some strengths to take 3 Anointed, because if the Blazing Glory gets charged by 3 Anointed, I can easily kill him. Easily not, but I can deal with him because I have 3 impacts, and then I can strike with a lot of attacks, so I can probably do some stuff and probably take him down. So he needs to be careful what he does with Myrmidon and stuff, so I can occupy him definitely. And this unit, if it would have been on the bottom right, then I would have been out of magic turn 1. So could have been better than Titan on the far left, Titan that can push because he's not scared of a lot of stuff. And with Titan plus Bull pushing on the left would have probably been better, I guess. My move turn 5 with Stroke Anointed didn't bring anything good and was not worth it, I guess. Yeah, BSB was in panic mode all game long because of the snipes, from turn 2 actually on. And my opponent, I think he could have saved more units. He could have just maybe deployed slightly differently. I would have exchanged one unit of Flies and the unit of Brazen Beast, just to make sure, because of the Brazen Beast cannot move that good laterally. He can just back them easily, and then the Flies can also move very good to the right if needed, so he could have saved maybe more point that way. And I guess, yeah, coming with the Flies turn 2 to take some wounds, why not? Yeah, I think it worked really well for him at finally, so I think that was definitely not a bad decision. But at some point, maybe turn 6, was it worth it to send these units in? He tried to do it. I think it didn't change much regarding the final result, because if I don't take Flies and I don't take the Chariot, it's still a 10-10, most likely. And yeah, because of the position and what he did, I think the Bull was able to escape a little bit. That was maybe possible to avoid that with... I don't know if it was possible or not, because the Brazen had to move back to avoid the charge turn 2, so he preferred to let me come to the side and then move back. And yeah, I have some regret not having charged with my 3 Anointed onto the unit of 3 Brazen Beasts, because I could have break them right away and then make sure that the Great Bull is free and they are free as well to push to the flank. I think that would have been probably better. So I have some small regrets, but overall there wasn't much more that I could have done during this game. Yeah, that's my feeling. So yeah, that's it guys. So not a great result for me, because I lost badly turn 1. He lost as well badly because we were paired against each other. So I think for neither of us it's really an awesome result, but I think, yeah, he wasn't, I think probably wasn't willing to risk too much, and me too. So that's why this led us to such game. It was interesting. It was interesting to play, definitely. Like I've told you, some small regrets, but overall I didn't have the feeling I could have done much more. I think we see some of the limits probably of my list, because I don't have really a solid. I mean, my scoring unit need to be all together more or less, because I rely on the BSB, I rely on some leaderships and stuff. So I couldn't afford really to play for the right objective with more stuff. Yeah, I didn't have much choice, I guess, to do something different from the deployment, completely different at least. So that's my feeling. If you feel otherwise, don't hesitate to tell me in commentary section. I'm always interested into exchanging and maybe seeing some other option that I could have done during this game. Thanks a lot for watching guys. There is still one game left into this tournament. Looking forward to play this last one and then change a little bit the list as well. I have some other ID. Feeling pretty frustrated with the VGBSB. It's not really something that fits into the kind of list that I want to play and the kind of play style that I want to play with the ID. So I'm a bit disappointed of him and yeah, what he brings to the list, because he's not that solid to go in combat and he's really scared from all the snipes like we saw during this game. Thanks a lot for watching guys, and take care. Bye bye.